Today's topic is pronouns, and in this video you'll study what is personal pronoun, what is reflexive pronoun, what is interrogative pronoun, and what is demonstrative pronouns. You'll also study the groups of pronouns. But before we begin, I just want you to know what audience this course should have, which means what kind of people should watch this video. First, this video is for students who are weak in grammar, because we'll be discussing basic grammatical skills that will help you in building a strong foundation in English. Also, students who are preparing for government competitive exams can choose to watch this video and it will be helpful. Now, what is the objective of this video or this course? We are creating a course where we are going to create a foundation, a strong foundation of English language in you as a student, so that when you enhance your skills, language skills, you become a better communicator. So this course will help you in establishing a strong foundation in your language learning. It will also help you in preparing for competitive exams. Now let's see what are personal pronouns. So the words I, you, he, she, it, we, they. These are the words which are called personal pronouns. So these pronouns, they take place of nouns and are used as the subject of the verb in a sentence. For example, if you see, my name is David, full stop, I am the youngest in the family. Now in this example, you'll see David is a noun. It's a proper noun, as we discussed in the last lecture. And instead of using that noun again in the next sentence, we have used a personal pronoun, which is I, so that we need not repeat the name in the next sentence. So usually pronouns are used in the second or third sentence of your introduction, which means that you must know about whom you're talking, right? So you must know that you're talking about your father or your mother or your brother or sister. You can use a pronoun for them. For example, this is my father, he is a teacher. Or you can say, this is my mother, she is a lawyer. So you don't have to repeat the word my father in the next sentence. You can simply say, this is my father, he is a teacher. You use the pronoun he. Similarly, you say, this is my mother, she is a lawyer. You don't say, this is my mother, full stop, my mother is a lawyer. You don't repeat the words my mother again in the next sentence. Pronouns, what they do is they help us reduce the usage of words. So basically pronouns are used to avoid the redundancy in the usage of noun. Sentence after sentence, you don't have to use the same noun. Instead of nouns, you use pronouns. Now let's see some of the pronouns which replace the object of the verb in a sentence. Earlier we saw some examples of pronouns which can replace the subject. Now we'll see some of the pronouns which can replace the object of the verb in a sentence. So these are me, you, him, her, it, us, and them. So for example, I am standing on my head, look at me. Now if you see in the sentence look at me is the object. Similarly, my mother is kind, everybody likes her. Similarly, Liza, I told you to tidy your bed. Or Lucky and I are playing in the park, Dad is watching us. So these are very good examples of personal pronouns when these words are used as objects. Next is groups of pronouns. Now usually there are three groups of pronouns: first person, second person, and third person. So all the personal pronouns that we have studied so far can be basically categorized in these three groups. First person is the person speaking. So right now I am speaking, I am talking to you, I am the first person, and the pronouns that I can use are I, me, right? If I have another person with me and we both are talking to you, then we can also be used as the first person pronoun. So we and us are plural of singular pronouns like I and me. Second person is the person spoken to, which is the person you're speaking with or you're talking to is the second person. So there's only one second person, which is you, right? So you is the word which is used for both singular and plural second person. Then we have the third person, which is a person or animal or thing which is spoken about. So third person is basically the subject of your discussion, right? So you're talking about a person or an animal or a thing. That is the third person. So the pronouns that you use here are he, him, she, her, or it when you're referring to a singular person or thing. When you're referring to a plural, a number of persons or animals or things, then you use the pronouns they or them. Them in the object when you replace the noun in the object of a sentence, and they when you replace the noun when it is used as the subject of the sentence. Next we have reflexive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns are the pronouns which will have the word self in it, right? For example, words like myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, themselves. So they are basically referring to the subject of the verb, the person who is taking the action. For example, I made this cake myself. I am the subject and I did some action. I made this cake myself, right? Which means that I did not take any help from anybody else. Myself, I created this cake. Another example is be careful with the knife, you'll cut yourself. Michael is looking at himself in the mirror. Our cat washes itself after each meal. We organize the party all by ourselves. Come in, children, and find yourselves a seat. Baby birds are too young to look after themselves. So what you see here is we are referring back to the subject in each of the examples. We have referred back to the subject, and whatever is the form of that subject will take a similar reflexive pronoun. For example, if the subject is I, then it will become myself. If the subject is you, then it will become yourself. When the subject is any third person like Michael or Susan, then it will become himself or herself, and so on. Next is interrogative pronouns. Now these are the pronouns that are used in the questions. These pronouns are used to ask questions. So words like who, whom, whose, what, and which are interrogative pronouns. The word interrogative, wherever the word interrogative comes, it means questions, questioning. So who is he talking to? That is an informal way to ask somebody who is he talking to. The formal way is whom is he talking to. Whom is more formal, who is less formal or informal. Who are those people? Whom are you playing with? What is your dog's name? What are you talking about? What is the time? Which of these bags is yours? Which do you prefer? Whose is this umbrella? So in all these examples you see that interrogative pronouns have been used and there's a question mark at the end, which means they all are questions. So we use them very frequently. Next is demonstrative pronouns. Demonstrative pronouns are when you are referring to certain things that either are near you or things that are farther away, but then you can still see them. So use these words to point at things which are near you or to point at things which are a bit farther away. So use the words that and those when you're pointing to things that are a bit far away, and you use the words this and these when you point to things that are near you. For example, did you drop this? Means, did you drop this? We are talking about a thing that is very near to us, right? Did you drop this? So for example, did you drop this pencil or did you drop this pen? We can do better than that, which means you're referring to something that has happened, right? And you're referring to something that has just recently happened, and you're saying we can do better than that. So you're referring to or you're pointing to a thing that has happened, right? So you use the word that. These are sheep. I told you the plural of sheep is sheep itself when we studied noun. I hope you liked this tutorial and you'll subscribe to our channel so that you receive such lessons every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. We are uploading these videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. So thank you so much for watching.